Hey, you, come here, come here. Did I tell you something? Did you know that there's a secret Yamaha brand? Student models. They're a little less expensive. Stick around, we're going to be talking about them today. Howdy everybody, my name is Andrew King. We are here at Alamo Music. Don't forget to visit us at alamomusic.com where we don't have these instruments up for sale on the website, and I'm going to tell you why. Today we are talking about the Yamaha Advantage series. It's very important to know about these because it is basically your local music store's lifeblood as far as rentals go. Yamaha is a brand of consistency, of integrity, very strong instruments, especially on the student line. Anywhere you go, when you go onto the school band director's recommended list or anything like that, you're going to see Yamaha probably on top of the chart on any of these instruments, whether it's going to be trombone, saxophone, flute, clarinet, whatever you can think of. I'll say trumpet, it's just not to leave them out. And you definitely want to look at their Advantage series. So if you go online and you look up Yamaha student model, you'll see the usual one, right? You'll see the YS26, you'll see the YTR 2330. These are standard brands and everything like that. But sometimes you're going to see some that are going to be a little different, but they look the same. Maybe you'll see the YAS 200AD or the YFL 200AD. Maybe you'll even see the YCL 400AD. And today we're going to be talking about those in particular because it is super important for you to know that your local music store is the only one to have access to the Yamaha Advantage series. Now, to compare them to their compatriots in the regular Yamaha student line would be criminal not to do. So let's kind of look at a bunch of them, and we'll do videos on each one in particular later on. On the flute, you're going to have the YFL 200AD. It's fantastic. It plays just like its counterparts, the YFL 262 and also the YFL 282, but just in a different keyline set. But the big difference is going to be that the YFL 200AD is going to be closed hole. So in particular, not a lot of schools are going to be asking for those for any kind of closed hole instrument because really the mainstream right now is going to be anything having to do with open hole flutes. So in particular, the YFL 262 and the YFL 282 are going to be the ones that you'll usually go with, but the YFL 200AD are fantastic flutes, especially if you're like a doubler just getting into flute, so you don't really have to worry about any kind of keeping your fingers on the keys and all that. As a lazy saxophone player myself, I definitely recommend it. Going on, we're going to see the clarinets. The clarinet actually has two versions. You have the YCL 200, you have the YCL 400. These are going to be mostly in comparison to the YCL 450. And the big difference is the YCL 200 is going to be made of a more plastic material. These are great. Again, I recommend these to any kind of doubler that's going to be playing it, especially if you're an amateur player or you're maybe a school kid that's playing the saxophone and need to double or onto the clarinet. They're inexpensive in comparison to their wooden counterparts, and the YCL 200 is just a great instrument right out of the box. Super recommend it. Now, with that being said, you have the YCL 400AD in comparison to the YCL 450. The 450N or the 450S. Those are going to be either the silver or the nickel key variants, but the 400AD is going to be more along the lines of a nickel key playing instrument. Not really a big difference as far as playability or anything like that. They all have the same amount of keys and all that fun stuff. Usually you switch between silver key or nickel key. If the best reason I have is basically, well, one's a little more shiny or something like that, but the other thing is too, like metal allergies are a thing. I've had cases where we've had kids come in and they've just been allergic to nickel, so they had to get something with silver plating to be able to play it and have fun with it. The YCL 400AD is a fantastic choice. It's usually going to be the one that's going to be rented out in comparison to the 450 if you're going to your local independent music store. So I totally recommend that one. Going on, we have the saxophones, which is going to be the YAS 200AD. This is probably one of the most popular saxophone models out there. In comparison, it's going to be in with the YAS 26, which is Yamaha's current 2024 alto saxophone student model. These are the same horns. They're pretty much the same horns. Really the big difference, and especially with the rest of them that we're going to talk about and the ones before, you're just going to have a Yamaha Advantage logo just kind of stuck on it. It's pretty much the same exact instrument. The big thing about this is that these are instruments very much made for rentals. Especially as we go on, we keep talking about it and everything, we want to kind of go over, like, the independent music store are going to be getting these instruments for the rental season, like, you know, when school starts and everything like that. So you want to be kind of careful with which ones you get. These are basically instruments made to save you money. The big thing is, though, is that we're not, as an independent music store, able to advertise these instruments online as far as brand new ones go. So when we have these, if you see them used or anything like that, that's usually a good case to buy one. They're going to be saving you money. They're going to be giving you a good amount of the same kind of quality that you would expect from the regular series of the Yamaha student models. So that's why they're so good. But moving on to the next instrument, we're going to be talking about the trumpets. The YTR 200 AD is a fantastic brass-colored instrument in comparison to its compatriot, the YTR 2330, which is also brass, but you can also get in the 2330S. Both are fantastic trumpets, but again, the 200 is going to save you a good little chunk of change, get you that same kind of quality, but it honestly, in the spirit of it, is the same instrument. That's kind of what it comes down to. So again, if you ever see these instruments used online or anything like that, go for them. The 200 series are all really good. And the last instrument on the list is going to be the YSL 200 in comparison to its brother over on the regular mainstay line, which is the YSL 354. It might seem like it's kind of a direct upgrade from one to the other, but honestly, they're still the same instrument. It's just the 354 is just not part of the Advantage series. They play great. They're small shank, pea shooter trombones that work awesome. Totally recommend either one. Really, the only thing you really got to worry about is sometimes a lot of programs are going to want you to upgrade from those. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to be getting the YSL 200 or the YSL 354, kind of get them on that rental program, so then you can move that credit up to the upgrade when you get to the 445 or the 447, which is the one with the trigger. So with that being said, if there's any questions you have about the Advantage series that you want to put in the comments. I would love to see it. It's kind of weirdly confusing with a lot of them. Sometimes with the trombones, moving numbers, or with the clarinets, you don't know which one's going to be plastic or it's going to be wood. It's always good to go in and research these things, and I just highly recommend looking into them. They are instruments that are, and this is what kind of makes Yamaha so cool because they're so consistent in the first place, but these are instruments made for your independent music store. Big chain stores like Music and Arts are not going to be able to get access to these to give to you. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to be getting these, look at your local school programs, look at your local music stores, see which ones are there, and this will help you get a great instrument for your child, or for you in that matter. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.